may exercise veto power in one particular bill. Can the president veto it for several times until such time that he feels satisfied? What do you think? May the president exercise it for several times to a bill, or just in one time, or just one? Any justification to that matter? It's a curious question, but could be a possible bar question, right? Anybody? Why are we very few? Where are the others? Hindi pa naman ko piyesta, no? Hindi pa piyesta. Anybody? Mr. Rocco, anything to say? Once. Why? Do we have a basis for that in the Constitution? Is it suggestive in the provision of Article 6, Section 27? Is it suggestive that the President can only do it once? Is the provision of Section 27, Article 6 suggestive that that will be the case? Yes or no? At least the number one. Section 27, number one. Okay. Is that statement or provision that you have just mentioned suggesting that the President can only veto it once? Yes, sir. Okay, so once the same is returned to the House where it originated, is there still a possibility that the same may be once again checked and rechecked by the President? No more. So the President is only given because when the same is returned to the House where it originated and reconsidered by Congress, would that still be returned to the President? No more. That will already become a law. Or if not reconsidered by Congress, do you think that would be returned once again to the President? No more, because that bill will certainly not become a law because the President has disapproved it. So the President is only given one opportunity, and that one opportunity given to the President is also his only opportunity to exercise his veto power, as suggested or as impliedly provided in Article 6, Section 27, number 1 of your Constitution, especially when the President exercises his veto power. Where are we now? I think we have already started last time on legislative inquiry, because I understand that every now and then Congress, whether it be in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, from time or any of its committees, take note, from time to time conduct legislative inquiry. The first thing that we should know is, does it have constitutional basis? Because when you conduct investigation, it is akin to what? It is not akin. It is what? It is preparatory to what? It is preparatory to prosecution. And prosecution normally is what? Is an executive function, not within the what? Not within the powers, strictly speaking, of the legislative department, because they are only confined to lawmaking. Okay? So does it have constitutional basis, yes or no? Answer, yes. We have Section 21 and we have Section 22 of the Constitution. But while this Section 21 and 22 have something to do with conducting investigation or inquiries, but they have different what? Purposes. When Congress used Section 21, it is the power of Congress to conduct legislative inquiry in the exercise of its legislative power. As in fact, the purpose of the inquiry is to aid them in legislation. Whereas, if Congress will invoke Section 22 of Article 6, it's not performing legislation, but it is in the exercise of its oversight function. No? So when Congress uses Section 22 of Article 6, take note, the same is being conducted in the exercise of its oversight function. In the exercise of its oversight function, as clarified, if I am not mistaken, as clarified in the case of what? In the case of, ano yun? Senate versus Ermita. Ano? Senate versus Ermita. You know, class, in the case of Senate versus Ermita, we have mentioned last time that what? That the President has issued Executive Order 464. What is Executive Order 464? What is Executive Order 464? That was issuance made by the President that was. Issuance made by the President that those executive officers and those officers whom the President may determine before participating or before appearing in any legislative inquiry should first secure presidential permit or presidential authorization so that they may so appear. That was questioned. Why? Because that is where that runs counter to the constitutional provision of Article 6, Section 21, and Section 22. Okay? Now, the question now is, may a particular person being required by Congress or any of its committee refuse to appear? Yes or no? Yes or no? May they refuse to appear? Yes or no? If they refuse to appear, can Congress sanction them? Yes, they may be cited in legislative contempt. And that could mean incarceration. A warrant of arrest will be issued against them in order to impose the what? In order to enforce the citing in contempt. So as what we have said last time that happened in the case of Romulo Neri, I have already mentioned to you a portion of the facts of the case. And by understanding this portion of the facts of the case, you will be able to know why Neri did not appear. So there were invitations, but he did not anymore appear. So he was cited, because of his non-appearance, he was cited in legislative contempt. So he was ordered, arrested, but he went to the Supreme Court, questioning the what? Questioning the arrest and questioning the authority of the committee to what? To cite him in legislative contempt. Who prevailed before the Supreme Court? Was it Neri or was it the Senate? Especially the committee. Who prevailed? Neri. And what is the jurisprudence or what is the ruling of the Supreme Court? Especially in citing Neri in legislative contempt. Anybody? 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 Who? Anybody? Do you have Mr. Seronay here? Mr. Seronay. What is the ruling of the Supreme Court, especially in citing Neri in legislative contempt? By the way, is Crystal Rosales in Ceruta and guards ito Coast Guard si Torena, nakabalik na sila. Kailan sila umalis? Sunday? This morning. Just this morning. Okay. Ha? Ilang weeks ko na na binigay na assignment? Anybody? Only very few. You try. You try. Anybody? Oh, sige, Miss. Kindly volunteer yourself.
The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Mary. Um, the respondent said that Mary cannot invoke his right of being judicial in the government, but the Supreme Court said that Mary, he was cited in contempt and was
Okay. Simula muna tayo doon sa can Neri be required? Because there were 3 questions that the Senate would want Neri to answer. Can Neri be compelled to answer those questions?
No, sir.
Why?
Because Mary said that those questions were the questions
which are covered by this what so-called executive privilege. Because these are matters, divulged by, because it's a conversation between the president and his close advisor, on matter of what policy. And that is what, that is covered by this what so-called executive privilege. So really these questions, Neri may be required to testify once again, but cannot be asked of these 3 questions because that is covered by this what so-called executive privilege. Ano ang mga executive privilege? Like for example, what? Diplomatic what? Privilege. Diplomatic transactions cannot be divulged. So that is a matter of executive privilege. National security, di ba? So that is what? That is a matter of what? That is a matter of executive privilege which cannot just be divulged, especially when the president invokes them. I also would like to emphasize that what? It's only the president who could invoke executive privilege. Okay? It's only the president or through his executive secretary. Yeah. So if the president has already made a declaration that the president is invoking executive privilege, so any information that is covered by this privilege cannot be what? Cannot be divulged. Yeah. And that was also the thing, or the 3 questions, answers to these 3 questions, which are supposed to be asked by the Senate to Neri. These are covered by this what so-called executive privilege, or this what so-called presidential communication privilege. Presidential communication privilege. And I also would like to emphasize, when the president said that I am invoking executive privilege, who has the burden of proof to say that, is it the burden of the president to prove that it's proper for him to exercise executive privilege? Yes or no? The answer is no. It's the person alleging the contrary. If you are saying that it's not proper for the president to invoke executive privilege, then nasa sayo ang burden of proof that the president could not properly exercise executive privilege. Okay, doon na tayo sa kaso ni Neri, inciting him in legislative contempt. Would that be proper? Why not? Is it not within the power of Congress to cite a person in legislative contempt?
it's not. It's the power of
Is
Congress.
it within the power of Congress? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's within the power of Congress.
But in this case,
It's not the bone of contention. It's the second time he was asked to appear and he did not appear.
He did not appear in the second time, sir, because he was he was not able to. I have the respondent, but the senators were not able to give the question very asked them to give.
Okay, what else? Oh. So on that score, the citing of legislative contempt is not proper. On that score, premise on what you said, the citing of Neri in legislative contempt is not proper. Or do we have a more substantial justification why the Supreme Court said that the committee of the Senate has gravely abused its discretion in citing Neri in legislative contempt? Do we have a more substantial justification? Yes or no? Anybody? That's me? Moral. Moral. Do we have a more substantial justification on the matter? Bakit ba hindi tama yung pag-cite ka Neri in legislative contempt? Bakit? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, Miss Tevi. Do you have Miss Gladys Tevi here? Okay, simply stated, do you agree with what Ms. Morato said? O, sige. Tapos? Diyos ko po. Abala. Why is it that the committee has gravely abused its discretion in citing Nelly in legislative contempt? What was used by the Supreme Court? Ay, Diyos ko. Do you have with you the case? Do you have with you the case? Ms. Basbas, I thought you are the repository of all cases here. Do we have the case? Ay, naku po! This is a landmark case and this is a very important case, especially in understanding legislative inquiry. You don't have to read so much. All you have to do is to read the provision on legislative inquiry because that was the very same provision used by Congress, used by the Supreme Court in declaring that the Senate Committee has gravely abused its discretion in citing Neri in legislative contempt. And what is that? Anybody? Oh, yes.
This case with Neri and case with Rubina, similar,
Case ne of
similar issue,
ang are.
yung issue kay Erwin and the city, at saka yung
It has a semblance, especially insofar as the invoking of executive privilege. But there are still other issues that were discussed in the case of Neri, especially in citing him in legislative contempt.
was it because of the question that the issue is not about for the aid of legislation? I think that's,
It's not in aid of legislation.
yes. So meaning the issue with Neri is being built not for the aid of legislation.
Do you have the case there of Neri? Do you have the case? Let me find it. O sabi ko sa inyo ha, just ask Miss Basbasan si Ate. Sabi ko sa inyo eh. Ay naku, hindi ko makita. Hindi ko na makita ito. Sulat pa ba ito? Hindi ko na makita. Okay. What is this? March 25, 2008. March. September 4 to ito ba? Ano ito? September 4, 2008. March 25, 2008. Neri versus Senate et al. Do you have there the case? Hindi ko makuha. Okay, narito din, ano? Narito din. Okay, hawakan mo. Muna, Miss Basbas. Why is it that Neri was, that the committee has gravely abused its discretion? Ano ba ang rason? Okay. Check section 21 of your article, please. Oh.
I think we were referring to this section 21 to set it here.
That was the case of ano?
Yes.
That was the case of Executive Order 464. Yeah? Yan kayo section 21 and 22, sabi dyan na appearance under section 21 is mandatory while appearance under section 22 is discretionary. Because that is also section 22 has something to do with the authority of Congress to call question
That's the
hours.
reason, sir, why.
No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason. We'll be discussing that later on. Dito muna tayo kay Neri. Ano ba ang rason ni Neri? Oh, Mr. Serna, you want to come again? In aid of legislation, that's the first one. The rules of procedure in the conduct of the proceedings, if promulgated, should be by the Congress. Ano? And it is a requirement that the same should also be what? Should also be published. Okay. What is this case? So in the case of Neri, Ano? In the case of NERI class, the rules of procedure adopted by that committee requiring NERI to testify is just a what? Was just adopted from previous Congress. And that was also published. They just adapt it. Okay? Would that be okay? Yes or no? Would that be okay to just adapt? Or if you want to adapt, is it a requirement that the same should again be published? Yes or no? Oh.
It was stated by the Supreme Court in the case, even though the intention of the Senate committee that they should, there is no need for them to publish in the rules of procedure because previously
It was already published.
However, the Supreme Court stated that the Supreme Court, specific members of the Senate and the Senate are not constituting bodies. Therefore, we cannot just assume that the rules of procedure promulgated from previous Congress maybe automatically applied in the next Congress. There is still a need to adopt the same rules of
Okay, so that's correct. More specifically, what does it say? The case of NERI versus Senate et al. Says that the Senate of every Congress, the phrase rules of procedures must be published presupposes that the Senate of every Congress must publish its rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation. Because every Senate is distinct from the one before it or after it. Take note. Since senatorial elections are held every 3 years for one-half of the Senate's membership, the composition of the Senate also changes by the end of each term. So each Senate may thus enact a different set of rules as it may deem fit. Not having published its rules of procedure, the subject hearings in aid of legislation conducted by the 14th Senate is therefore procedurally infirm. Take note. So that's the reason. Simple lang po. The rules of procedure which they used in citing NERI in legislative contempt was never published. And that is a constitutional what? That is a constitutional requirement. You cannot just say anyway there is a previous rules of procedure. You have to remember under the case of NERI that the Senate is different, the present Senate is different from the Senate before it and from the Senate after it. So iba man po, kaya dapat iba ang kanilang rules of procedure. If they would want to adapt it, they have to publish it anew. Take note. So that's the only reason. It is procedurally what? It is procedurally infirm. That is why, according to the case of NERI, the Senate committee there has gravely abused its discretion in citing NERI in legislative contempt. There was even another situation. If I am not mistaken, there was also an inquiry as regards PCGG, or the Presidential Commission on Good Government. If I am not mistaken, PCGG Chairman Fabio appeared. But there was a commissioner who refused to appear. If I am not mistaken, former Commissioner Abstedi. Patay na siya ngayon, ano? She refused to appear, saying that PCGG officials are immune from appearing in any quasi-judicial or in any judicial proceedings. Why? Because the PCGG law provides so. Okay? So, hindi siya nag-appear. So, he was also cited in legislative contempt and he went to the Supreme Court questioning the same. Specifically what? Specifically referring for his defense that provision under the PCGG law that immunes them from what? From appearing in any judicial or quasi-judicial proceedings. And legislative inquiry is considered quasi-judicial proceeding. Anong sabi ngayon ng Supreme Court? Kailan ba in-enact yung PCGG law that was prior to the effectivity of the 1987 Constitution? And it is provided under the 1987 Constitution that any laws, take note, inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution are deemed modified, are deemed repealed. Okay? And that provision for immunity to members of the PCGG to appear in any tribunal has already been modified, has already been repealed, has already been amended by this provision of Section 21 and 22 of Article 6, especially appearing before any congressional inquiry. So can they be required to appear, yes or no? Answer, yes, because this is also ancillary or this is incidental to the authority of Congress to legislate. Power to conduct legislative inquiry is part of this power of Congress to legislate because this is also one way of what? One way of gathering information, one way of gathering data that will be the subject of their pending for future legislation. Now, bago po ng kasong yan, 4614 nung po noon, I think it was in 2005 if I am not mistaken, I asked my students whether the President could really require executive officers from before appearing in Congress to secure presidential consent, to secure presidential permit. You check Section 22. Anong sinasabi sa Section 22? Sabi daw po ng Section 22, anong sabi dyan? Heads of department may, upon their own initiative, with the consent of the President, take note, or upon the request of either house, as the rules of each house shall provide, appear before the and be heard by such house on any matter pertaining to their department. So if Congress, take note, would be invoking Section 22, as I've said, according to the case of Senate, this is the authority of Congress to call question hour. Authority of Congress to call question hour. Ang question hour po, 1973 Constitution pa yan. Pero nyaon pa man po giraray diyan dito sa 1987 Constitution. But the question is the appearance mandatory? In that particular case, it's not mandatory. But if Congress invokes Section 21 of Article 6, appearance may be considered mandatory and you can be cited in legislative contempt if you will not appear. Because that is what? That is inherent to what? That is inherent to legislation. Power of Congress to conduct legislative inquiry. Ang problema natin ngayon ganito. Supposing, like for example, this pork barrel. The question now is, they are conducting investigation and they are trying to find what? They are trying to find who are the culprits. They are trying to find who are responsible. The question now is, supposing they were able to find persons responsible, can they initiate the filing of the case? Yes or no? No. Because the purpose of their inquiry is only to aid them in legislation, not for prosecution. Their investigation is to aid them in legislation, not to prosecute those individuals. So what they should do is only to make a report. After the report, that's the end. All they have to do is to what? Gagawin na lang nila, isasubmit nila yan sa Office of the Ombudsman or sa Office of the Department o sa Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice and the Office of the Ombudsman is given the what? The full authority to determine whether there is probable cause. Kahit sinasabi ng Kongreso, merong rason para mag-file ng kaso laban sa mga taong ito. Bakit? Nasa kanila ba ang executive power? You know, prosecution is an executive function. It is still within the determination of the executive department. Sabi ng executive department, sunod Department of Justice, walang probable cause. Can you compel them to file the case? No! Okay? Because ang conduct lang po ng legislative inquiry is only what? Klaro ang sinasabi sa ating Constitution, in aid of legislation and not prosecution. So they cannot file the case, they cannot initiate the filing of the case. If they want to do so, they have to endorse the same before the what? Before the executive department or to the office of the ombudsman. Okay? And the Office of the Ombudsman will what? Will conduct appreciation, will conduct what? Evaluation of those documents. So pag sinabi ng Ombudsman walang kaso, pag sinabi ng DOJ walang kaso, wala po tayong magagawa. That is true. Because we have to remember, ano lang ang purpose nila? To prosecute, hindi. Ang purpose nila is to help them gather data for their legislative work. Ganun po yun. Hindi naman to prosecute. Di ba? Hindi naman to prosecute because that is not the function of the legislative department. Kaya ganito, we usually conduct legislative inquiries. So much legislative inquiries being conducted, di ba? Paano po natatapos? By making a report. Okay. After the report, endorse it to the proper agency, endorse it to the proper department. Okay. So, ganun po yun. Pero at least paano, yung executive arm of our government is also doing something, di ba? Kung minsan napapailan sa ombudsman or kung minsan napapailan saan? Napapailan sa court natin. Pero ang may safe para mag-file ng kaso, ang executive department, not the legislative department. So any question? So you have to remember, what does Section 21 provide? Can they conduct inquiry? Yes, but what is the purpose of the inquiry? In aid of legislation. In aid of legislation. I repeat, in aid of legislation. Not to prosecute. Okay? Now, so in Section 22, can the President really say that, before appearing, hingi muna kayo ng consent sa akin? Pwede ba yun? There's a constitutional provision also. Heads of the department or upon their own initiative with the consent of the President, okay, may. Pero, or upon request of what? Of the either house. Anong ibig ko sabihin nito? If it is on their own initiative, take note, they require presidential consent. Pero if they are requested by the Senate to appear, even without consent from the President, they have to so appear. Yeah? So I repeat, Section 22, power to call question hours. In the exercise of what? Of Congress's oversight function. Meron pa nga, if I am not mistaken, yung attrition law. Merong provision doon sa law na yung implementing rules and regulations should first be what? Signed by Congress before the same, it should be approved by Congress. Can that be done by Congress without violating the principle of separation of powers? The Supreme Court said, well, that is ngayon what? That is encroaching upon executive functions, di ba? Implementation is enforcement is within the executive power. It's within executive department. That's why, and inherent to the implementation, inherent to the enforcement of laws is the drafting or is the making of implementing rules and regulations. So it cannot be subjected to the approval of Congress, otherwise Congress would be encroaching upon the power of the executive department. Okay? Yeah? Iklaro na natin yan, if I am not mistaken. In the case of COMELEC, di ba? Can the DOJ prosecute election-related offenses? Yes or no? Yes or no? Dahil nakalagay doon, it has the authority to what? It has the authority to administer, enforce all laws relative to elections. So noon hindi, di ba? Unless deputized by the COMELEC. Pero we have the new case, I've said, ano yung kaso? Arroyo versus COMELEC and DOJ panel, where the DOJ and the COMELEC already have concurrent jurisdictions over what? Over election-related offenses. The case of what? Jose Miguel Arroyo, this is something to do with the conduct of preliminary investigation on electoral sabotage filed as against GMA and as against Chairman Avalos, if I am not mistaken. It was questioned because dalawa lang doon ang member ng COMELEC, samantalang tatlo ang member ng DOJ. That's violating the Constitution. Because it should be with what? It should be with the COMELEC. Why is it that what? Why is it that the COMELEC only has a very few members? Well, we already have new jurisprudence in the matter. They already have what? concurrent jurisdiction. Noon nga, sinasabi ko na sa inyo, di ba? Noon, halimbawa, you are the second highest, candidate obtaining the second highest number of votes. Pwede ka bang i-declare ang panalo kung talo, disqualify yung panalo? Hindi yung pwede, no? Otherwise, you will be disenfranchising those who voted for the disqualified candidate. But now, under the case of Makiling, yes. Especially if the disqualification is considered void ab initio. Meron bang naninigarilyo dito, please? Okay? So take note, no? So Congress can only do it in the exercise of its oversight. So ito pala, ito mga budget hearing. Saan ito? Section 21 or Section 20? Section 21 or Section 22? We have to remember that what? We have to remember that the conduct of the budget hearing is also in furtherance with the what? In furtherance with the enactment of the general appropriation. So that is still considered in aid of what? In aid of legislation. We also have the case of Bingson versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. What does it say? Ano itong Bingson versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee? Blue Ribbon Committee. What does it say? What does it say? Like for example, sa kaso ni Napoles, can he be required to testify in the Senate? Can she be required to testify in the Senate? Sabi niyo sa kaso ni Bingson, once the case already been filed in court and issues had already been joined, it's already the court that has jurisdiction. How about in the case of Napoles? We have to remember that the case of Napoles doesn't have in court, doesn't have something to do with the pork barrel scam, but it's an entirely different case for serious illegal detention filed by somebody. Diba? So can he be required to testify still as regards this? Yes or no? There's yet a case filed against her in connection with this pork barrel, diba? So can she be required to testify? Yes or no? Yes. But the problem is, considering that she is under custody before she can be required to testify, permission of the court is still required. Because it's the court, that issued the commitment order. So any modification of that commitment order that will be committed to this particular penal institution, should be what? Should also be done by whom? Should also be done by the court issuing it. So take note. So pwede pa siya. But supposing a case was already filed before the Sandigan Bayan. Bakit Sandigan Bayan? Can she be placed within the jurisdiction of Sandigan Bayan? She is a private person. Oh. Can a private person be charged before the Sandigan Bayan? Yes or no? Because normally, public officers, public employees are charged before the office, and those public employees with salary grade 27 and higher, diba? We know that. But may a private person be impleaded? Yes or no? Yes. Pero dapat i-implead mo din yung mga public officials who conspired with that private person. No. Yeah. I-implead mo din yung those public officials who conspired. And certainly, if I am not mistaken, magpatuloy lang itong investigation na ito, there will be so much pain. Especially public office. Especially elected officials. I want this to go on to the what? To the end. So that we know who is telling the truth. Because the truth will set you free. Tobingson versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. The case has already been filed where? The case has already been filed before the Sandigan Bayan. That's why the respondent didn't anymore appear, because that was also the subject of the Sandigan Bayan. And issues had already been shown. Thank you. Power of appropriation. Any question as regards to justice inquiry? Better understanding of the case is the case of what? Senate of the Philippines versus Ermita, and the case of what? The case of Neri versus Senate. Piglif ba yung Executive Order 46? You know, we have to remember that that case did not totally what? Did not totally declare unconstitutional Executive Order 464, di ba? Di ba? Hindi, partially declared unconstitutional, so it stands, except as regards those officials whom the President mentioned to be required to secure executive consent from the President. Okay? Pero yung iba, pick-uphold yun ng Supreme Court. Pero piglif ba ng President? Yes o yes. Piglif ng President nang dumating na yung kaso ni Neri upholding executive privilege. Kahit ilist ko ito, meron ng jurisprudence that I could always invoke executive privilege. Diba? Parang okay din yung di ba? Anyway, there is the jurisprudence already. Even without this pronouncement, even without this issuance, di ba? I could already use this jurisprudence that my invoking of executive privilege is proper. So, gamitin niya lang yun, di ba? So, kahit wala ng executive order, okay. So, that's how it should be. So, take note of this case. Also, the case of law, also the other jurisprudence found in your book. Thank you. Power of appropriation. No money shall be paid out of treasury except in pursuance of an appropriation made by law. Okay? So, is the pork barrel constitutional is the pork barrel statutory provided? Yes or no? Yes. Dahil included yan saan? Included po yan sa general appropriation law. Included po yan sa general appropriation law. So, if you want to scrap it, Congress can always scrap it. So, no money shall be paid out of treasury except in pursuance of appropriation law. Even in the local level, diba? If you want to what? If you want to take money from the fund, it should be by virtue of the proper appropriation ordinance. And the disbursement of the same should be on public purpose. Okay. Kailan ba dapat naroon ang public purpose as a requirement? Because if I am not mistaken, in the case of Pascual, the Congress has enacted a special appropriation law in order to finance the construction of a particular road in a private subdivision. Okay? But later on, there was a what? There also was a stipulation that later on, that will be given to the what? That will be given to the government. The question now is there a substantial compliance with the public purpose requirement, especially in the enactment of the special appropriation law? Yes or no? Anyway, later on, it will be given to the government. But that is for the meantime to finance a private, what? A private structure. A private construction. Is there a substantial compliance? Yes or no? According to the case of Pascual, it's not. The public purpose requirement must be present from the very moment the bill is passed. It's never considered a what? It's never considered a substantial requirement. And secondly, as much as possible, it should be determinable. Dapat merong amount. Not the minimum, at least the maximum. Yeah. Not the minimum, at least the maximum. So in connection with this case, in connection with this important characteristic of an appropriation bill, I want you to read the case of Gingona versus Carraghe. 196 F. 221. Gingona versus Carraghe. 196 F. 221. O, ito. Tingnan nyo itong provision ng Article 6. Ito ang binabasihan nila. Discretionary fund appropriated for particular officials shall be dispersed only for public purpose to be supported by appropriate voucher and subject to such guidelines as may be prescribed by law. So is it really proper for congressmen to identify their possible projects? They know their constituency, so that's proper. That's proper. But I do not know why they are still endorsing that to a particular NGO. Why not just let the implementing agency do the job? Ilagay na lang sa agency, di ba? Let the agency do the job. Bakit kailangan bang i-transfer to a particular NGO and let the NGO do the job? Diba? Anyway, these are arms of the government and their purpose also is to what? To really implement governmental what? Projects and to achieve governmental objectives. So take note, supported by appropriate vouchers and subject to such guidelines as prescribed by law. So sino ang magpiprescribe in the use of this one? Still it's Congress by virtue of a law. Take note, Congress by virtue of a law. So if Congress would opt not anymore to use this, Congress can always do that. Because the guidelines and the limitations in the use of the same is also statutorily provided. Okay? Congress may not increase the appropriations recommended by the President, so we know that. But can they decrease? Yes or no? Sinasabi nila, kung hindi kayo makikipag-cooperate sa amin, bibigyan namin kayo ng piso appropriation. Diba? Diba? Bibigyan namin kayo ng piso. Okay. Meron din bang kahit kaunting katotohanan ang sinasabi nila? Yes, because ang power of appropriation is with the legislative department. While they cannot increase the budget made by the President, but they also have the authority to decrease them. Precise the reason why they are conducting budget hearings, precise the reason why they are scrutinizing, di ba, the budget submitted by the respective department. Because if there is a need to decrease, they would do it. Okay, yeah? Because that is constitutionally allowed. Also, how about transfer? No law shall be passed authorizing any transfer of appropriation. Okay, so hindi po. Kahit nga baga sa ating munisipyo, kung nakaalat yan to a particular project, take note, can it be transferred to another project? Yes or no? Answer no. That's what I think that is, if I am not mistaken, a felony. That's considered a juggling of funds, take note, and considered also as a form of what? As a form of malversation. Check your revised penal code. So if the same is specifically for this purpose, then it has to be what? It has to be dismissed. It has to be utilized for that purpose. However, by law, the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the Chief Justice may be allowed to what? May be allowed to augment items in the general appropriations for the respective offices using their what? Savings. Pwede ka lang, dagdagan mo ito kung merong savings. Anyway, yung savings naman pag hindi nagasto, ibabalik mo yun. So, idagdag mo na. But only the President of the Senate, the President, the Speaker of the House, the Chief Justice can do that, and the same should be by virtue of a law. Because power of appropriation is with the legislative department. A very good example of this, transfer of savings in one department from one item to another in the general appropriation law may be allowed in the interest of expediency and efficiency. Okay? There is no danger to the doctrine of separation of powers if the transfer is made within a department and not from one department to another. Okay? So hindi pwede ang budget sa executive department, itatransfer mo sa judicial department. Hindi pwede ang budget sa legislative department, itatransfer mo sa executive department. Automatic reappropriation, just read this. This is also important. Okay? By next time, power of taxation. Where is the attendance? Is it time already? Please naman po, read your cases. Ano? Read your cases, please. Read your cases.
Ate, saga ko na lang po i-bluetooth. Saga na lang po.